All right, we're going to the Taylor Area Neighborhood Association meeting.
If at all, the feedback that I've got from the school personnel is that there are no issues. Are you aware of any, Kathy? Okay.
I haven't heard anything.
Okay. I'm going to ask the question to those present. How are we doing?
100% better.
Yes.
Clear for 3 weeks. There's only been one little incident. If they were out after curfew, the cop showed up promptly. He did not chase them. They left about water. The only thing I would have to do was chase them and get them tickets because they knew they weren't supposed to be there and they told them. But 100% better.
Okay. Anyone else?
Probably.
Okay. Outstanding. Outstanding. I did bring some numbers. I will I'll pass that around. The top's got the calls for service and a breakout by week, and you can see the changes. And when you look at the COPS project, which is an officer-initiated activity, the upper right-hand column versus the lower right-hand column, you can see that those have dropped off. I would attribute that to us going where the problem is, and when the problem goes away, we've kind of pulled back, and we need to continue the discussion as far as turning this area back over to you people, okay? And kind of going forward, how do we go forward, looking at the rest of this fall and then next summer, so that we don't have issues like we did in the past, okay? I passed out a document. It's a multi-page document. It's a community input force field analysis, which is the information captured off the posters that we went around the room during the... Yes, sir.
Lieutenant, may I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
In terms of holding the kids accountable for trespassing, did you say?
Yes, sir. Hi, ma'am. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're going to make me blush now.
So how do you determine that? You know, are you asking the questions when you see certain, because I mean, how do you determine whose kid, what's what in terms of trespassing?
If we observe problem behaviors, or our attention is called to problem behaviors, generally, as a rule, what we would do is give that person a trespass warning, tell them that they are no longer welcome here at the school on the playground, because the school has supported us with that. There have been a select few that did not heed that warning and did return, and at that point in time, they would be charged.
So you go through the process of asking where they live and those kind of things, and when they give you that information, I'm saying, how do you know that? That's what was my other question.
The question, as far as if they're okay,
if they live in this area or not. Is that what you're talking about, living
No.
in this area? Or what do you mean by trespassing then?
if you're on the school grounds.
Okay, period.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
If they're engaged in problematic behavior, we have the permission of the school to give them a warning.
Okay.
Okay?
Now I get it.
Okay.
I wasn't clear if you were talking about residentially or the school or...
Yes, ground itself.
Okay.
Okay.
I have a question.
Ma'am.
Part of this area is not actually Taylor School property. Part of it's Reed Park. Now, is that going to cause any problems?
It has not caused a problem.
Okay.
been no problem whatsoever.
Okay.
Yeah. All the problems have been on the school grounds, and...
On the blacktop part?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, 'cause most of the field over there is Reed Park.
Yes, ma'am.
So, I know there were a lot of concerns last month that if you look here at things on Taylor School, it's just, kids are just gonna move elsewhere. I'm just curious from people in the neighborhood, has that happened?
Yeah, they said they moved up to Trinity.
Yes.
Oh.
Trinity, 10 square parcel.
I got a call this morning telling me that they moved up to Trinity.
They've been in Trinity pretty hard.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just the isolated troublemakers that were here.
Right.
They moved on, 10 square parks also. Every now and then I'll see a small pack, which they send out quite a bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've had some discussions with the Cleveland Park Neighborhood Association. They did have one incident where some of the kids were up there, but in discussing that with them, there's been nothing to support that they've gone up there and are engaged in ongoing problematic behavior.
Cleveland's different. Trinity's behind the church, it's a small little basketball court.
Well, that's where we're meeting tonight.
Cleveland
Meet at
Park
Trinity.
excuse me, Cleveland Park, that neighborhood association encompasses the church and school.
It's not supposed to.
Okay.
Well, somebody's already
No.
told them that, no.
No, I mean, really, it's the, with the Taylor School boundaries, because we're having to do our application out, actually goes, from 15th to 1st and 15th to 1st, 16th to 1st. But yeah, that's the boundaries of Taylor.
Okay.
Is still, yeah, there's been some discussion at the city about that. Yeah, it is.
That's another discussion then for another time.
Yeah. But this is
Ma'am.
the map.
Okay.
What are the ages that we're dealing with? Do you know that offhand?
Roughly, early teens to mid to late teens.
Oh. So that is clearly why they shouldn't be over here. This is elementary.
Well, the school wants to be a resource for people
Okay,
in general, and they've got nice facilities, basketball courts.
okay.
The school is you're welcome to come and play and engage in physical recreation. It becomes problematic when people are hanging out, not doing anything, which then leads to, if you watch the videos, leads to, the back and forth,
Sure.
and then
Too many board kids.
then it leads to fights.
Sure,
And that is what we're looking to avoid.
sure. So it's about 15 to 18, are we saying, or something like that? In terms of ages?
Not always.
Down to 12. 12 to 17.
12 to 17? Okay.
It's just too many bored kids together with nothing to do, so they find something.
Lieutenant, now that school is back in session, though, I mean, I know it's just gotten started, but do you think that would in fact reduce any of those kinds of things?
School being in session does help.
Yeah.
Because the kids are more structured, and they need that. They have less time to in the evening to
Lollygag.
free and kind of roam about unsupervised. And that's one of the things we're going to get to if we can kind of.
Okay, moving.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Real quick.
Yes.
When to get the parents involved? Only until there's an arrest?
That's an issue that we fight. We would love to see parents become more involved. It happens far too often that in this day and age we have all sorts of different babysitters. The PlayStation 3s,
Oh, sure.
there's cell phones. How many parents, let their kids run free here and there, just check in with me every once in a while on a cell phone.
Not this month.
We're losing that, that FaceTime and being engaged, and we as a community have an opportunity here to involve all and partner with the school. It's going to involve giving up a little bit of your time, but what a great opportunity to come out and mentor and engage these kids in some positive dialogue versus being in an adversarial position. Okay, it could definitely benefit both. I'm going to start with number 2, vision. We definitely encourage that, to have that sort of discussion in the home. Police needing to admit that we have a gang problem. The police department does acknowledge that we have people that are engaged in gang activity within the city. We partner with the schools and various different entities, the county attorney's office, the federal authorities, in order to prosecute, hold accountable, and get the most bang for our buck in that. Increase in violent crime. Up until very recently, violent crime was down quite a bit within the city. And it's popped up this last month, but not to a level that would cause alarm. It is something that we are working on collectively to reduce and keep a handle on. The threats, not aware of it. Can someone help me out there, give me a circumstance where that had happened so I can better answer that question?
Better understand that question.
People over here at Taylor School and in front of the cops. We'll be back. We've had a lot of them drive by, especially me in particular, and go like this in front of cops. That's what that was pertaining to, I believe.
Okay.
But, and I have personally been told that, what am I supposed to do about that? By one of the officers when all this first started going down at the end of July. And I said, well, that's a terroristic threat. I said, and I know when, I grew up and had to deal with cops, you could never point your finger like that or a cop go like that, or at a citizen. And I've seen them do it to the officers back when they were having the standoffs out here, so I believe that's what they were talking about there. And no action was taken to those cases.
Yeah, because if a threat is not acted on, they're going to up it to the next step. And next step, it may be beating the crap out of someone.
And they did come back later.
Yeah.
They did come back later.
We try and address those. The best method to, if you're not satisfied with that call,